Hi, Cindy. Hi, Jason. How are you folks today?
Hi.
Hey, I'm good. How
Long
are
time
you?
no see.
Yeah, the last time I spoke with you guys was season 1, so this feels like I'm bookending.
So sad. It's so sad. I was trying. I feel like we look the same. Do you think we've aged? Do we look much older? I don't know.
I wouldn't say so. So I got to start with the obvious question here. So obviously the last season ended with Angie getting hurt, and we're starting off, and thankfully she's okay
Yeah.
for the most
Oh,
part.
we don't know that. We can't guarantee she's okay. Who says I don't die in the first episode?
This would be a great interview. So what's the long-term impact though? Because obviously it does give Matt kind of an opportunity to, I guess, I don't want to say dote on her, but it definitely changes his view a little, I'd say, from what I saw in the first episode.
Well,
Now you sound like Don Shade. He sounds like Don Shade. Take it away.
it does sound like Don Shade a little bit. Well, I think that experience for both characters, I think I mean, certainly for Matt, it forces him to reassess his feelings for Angie and sort of reassess their relationship, whether he is willing to admit that to Don or not. I think that within himself he starts to reassess that, and I think that ultimately Angie in her own way starts to reassess those things too. I think that the two characters throughout the season are in their own ways starting to reassess their relationship.
What
Fair
would
to
you
say?
say about Angie, Cindy? How do you think it
Absolutely.
affects her?
I mean, I think that Angela doesn't, it takes her a while to come to terms with it because initially she's just like, she's fine. She's just fine. Insists she's fine. And I think that it really cracks her open a bit. She lets down the walls and eventually has to come to terms with being vulnerable and leaning on Matt and letting people in and talking about feelings. And I mean, it has a huge impact on her life in every way.
I want to talk, of course, about the fact that this is the last season, but before we go there, I guess further onto this whole, the tough act. They both act tough. They both act bullheaded a lot of the time, which is, I'd say, part of their appeal. What do you think? How can you talk about the changes this season? Because it does seem like there's cracks in that throughout the season. I mean.
Well, yeah. Well, I think I think that Angie getting shot was a big is a big impetus to that. Anytime you go through a life-threatening situation like that, I think it forces people to reassess things in their lives, and some people are more apt to doing that than other people.
Cindy, what do you think Angie's approach? Well, what can you say about Angie's approach this season? Because already I'd say in season 1, there's a little bit of a shift. Episode 1, I mean, there's a little shift there.
There is a little shift, and then she tries to power through it. But I think there's like trauma and PTSD, and those things have such a big impact on her. And also, I think it's just the shooting becomes a catalyst for change, for the way that she embraces those around her and reassesses, like Jason said, the relationship she has and her approach and what everyone means to her.
And the relationships around them are changing, because even the first episode has a little bit of shift with some of the other characters. Can you guys talk about what we're going to see though overall this season? What's to come?
Well, in season 2, there was a high school reunion when Ennis Esmer's back as Detective Mazzari, which was really awesome because we missed him so much. We have so much fun with him. And my arch nemesis, an old best friend, played by Candace McClure, is a guest star, and Matt Shade starts dating her. Rude. It's like rude. I don't even know why they wrote that. It's terrible. Sexy Texy comes back. I can't tell you what happens there, but that is a murder mystery that we filmed at Royal York Hotel about authors, and it was super fun. Jay, what other ones do we have?
Then we went to an antique car show where Matt Shade's beloved Porsche got stolen. We had to get Shade's car back. That was fun. There was your mom Nora and her her boyfriend Rory bought a house out in the country, and there was a mystery out there that we had to go solve. There was a radio talk show host.
Assassination.
There was assassination that we had to solve. It was too much running in that episode.
We ran for a whole week, an entire week of running. I don't know why. Like, why don't we have people do this for us? We have stunt doubles. Oh, remember the jump that they did? That jump was awesome.
We let them do that.
They jumped off of Ontario Place it was so scary. Oh yeah, it's nuts. Wait till you see this. But for some stupid reason, we decided to do all the running. We just ended up running a marathon for a week. It was terrible, especially at Jason's age.
Bad idea. Trust me, it's a bad idea. At any age. And then there was the Smart House episode.
I love that one. I think that's a really good episode.
That episode was pretty good. And then there was the drag queen episode with
Lucy Flawless.
That's your finale too, right?
It's so good. It's so really good. Cool.
Well, so what's it like saying goodbye now? And what was it like saying goodbye while you're filming? Because obviously while you're on set, this is the end, I assume.
We didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
We didn't.
Oh,
we didn't know. It makes it tough, but it also made it easier, I guess, because we would have been devastated knowing that it was our last season. And while we don't really feel like we got to say a proper goodbye to everyone, because after 5 years of spending that much time together, we really do feel like we have a family, and our family's breaking apart. It's so sad. I don't know. I'm like devastated, but like devastated mixed with so much gratitude for 5 amazing, amazing years. And sometimes it is so much better to go out with a bang and be proud and look back on all this work and just with so much love and gratitude. Because I mean, it's really nice to think of all the magical times we've had and the show that we've created, the fans we have all around the world. We couldn't be happier about how it's played out. Jay?
I mean, Cindy said it perfectly. I don't really have much to add. We've, the show has been super successful, and we thank all of our fans, not only in Canada and America, but all around the world for watching the show and loving the show as much as they do. And we just hope that they tune in for these for this last season, and and celebrate the show and enjoy it as much as we've enjoyed making it.
Well, I love the fact that I was looking through the press kit, and in it, they list all the locations you guys have shot in around Toronto. And I do love just how closely it's connected to Toronto, these locations and everything else. Did you guys have a favorite location from shooting, either this season or overall?
Well, I think, my favorite was actually an episode I directed. I had to take Cindy Sampson up on the outside of the CN Tower at sunset with a helicopter, filming the two of us. And that was my favorite. Not only
it's also mine,
shot, but it's also because Cindy's terrified of heights, so that made it.
But like we'll remember this for the rest of my life, because that was like such a human moment. Because I'm terrified of heights. I was standing on the edge of the CN Tower, and Jason Priestley literally said, "Come on, partner," and put his hand out, and I just step to the very edge. There's no one up there but him and I. The sun setting, the freaking helicopter. Like, it just life doesn't get any more surreal than that moment. It was just, I'm gonna cry. It's just magic. I can't even begin to describe that. And like, we're looking out over Toronto as a whole, and it was just like the most momentous occasion. Like, it's been such a privilege to showcase Toronto for what it is, and like use the city and the city's names and the city's locations. And that was just like, it was just the icing on the cake. I will never forget that moment.
I'm Scared of Heights, and I did Edgewalker like 2 years ago, and yeah, it is the greatest experience ever.
This asshole, though, I'll tell you, Jason Priestley, this dick, knows I'm terrified and wouldn't let me go up beforehand. He was like, literally put a camera in front of my face the very first time I walked out, made me walk out first.
It sounds like good TV. So the last thing I want to know is really, you know, like, what do you take with you from this show now? Because obviously, you know, I've talked to actors before and the way that shows impact them. So what do you leave the show with?
I leave the show with a ton of great memories, a ton of great friendships. You know, I'm incredibly grateful to all of our cast and our incredible crew and all the hard work and dedication that they put in. But the biggest takeaway for me is my undying gratitude and my deep love and friendship with Cindy Sampson. And I cannot wait to get to work with her again, and you know, continue to go over to her house and barbecue for her, because every time I go over to her house, I end up actually cooking the food on her barbecue. But that's a story for another day.
It's true. He just did that 2 weeks ago. I can't stop crying. I'm so sad. I'm so sad because I can't imagine going to work without Jason. It's going to be devastating. And like, what I take away is, I mean, I feel like this has like catapulted my career in ways unimaginable, where I've like been the lead in the show and been comfortable and confident, and watched someone who I love as a co-star and a friend be an executive producer and a director, and then just see what it takes to make a show come together. And it's been the most wonderful learning experience of my life. And I just want to do it again. I just want it to keep going. Jay, can we just be in a show together again, but something else, but different, but the same?
Yeah, well, that's fine.
I don't want to work with anybody else.
Great seeing your chemistry together. You know, I really have enjoyed seeing you both. So congratulations. I hope to see you both again really soon.
Great.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks so much. Have a good day.